Lee, how you doing?
Hi, Mark. Really good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Well, listen, before we start this, I think anybody watching this, it's great because it's nostalgic for me because we go back quite a long time. How many years
Long
is it
time.
now?
12. 2014, I came to your company up in Nottingham to help propel my personal training business.
Wow, wow. And I
I'll
remember,
tell you something, like I knew we did such a good job then. I knew that in the future I would work with you again.
well, do you know what? You were working with Josh. I remember your physique, and we talked about this
Yep.
just off camera just now. You did an amazing transformation. Do you know what? I've always remembered this. You've always been stacked PT. You've always had a great reputation and you've always been a bodybuilder, but dedicated to the results and quality with your clients.
Yep.
And I think before we even talk about like why you came on board with Coaching Concierge, just as a very experienced coach, how many years have you been coaching now?
Well, I mean, I've been coaching people. I was coaching martial arts back in the early 2000s,
Wow.
so I've been coaching people physically for a long time, you know.
What
But
about PT?
yeah, the PT was just in the early 2010s.
Was it?
So a
Wow.
long time,
Still,
lot of
still, still
experience.
still a bloody long time. Yeah,
Yeah.
overall. What I'd love to touch on this because there'll be a lot of coaches that'll be like, right, oh, this guy's done so well financially, X, Y, Z. But how important has your knowledge and skills as a coach been at getting you to this point?
Yeah, it's been massive in that I'd say like the reputation that I've got locally, the transformations that I've produced, I'm very well known for. I although this is a little bit separate, I coach a world champion men's physique athlete, and I've coached him for 8 years. So I took him from the beginning to where he is now. So that's been big. But the online side is something that I only started a few years ago, about 2022.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what was it at the time then? Because I remember coming to Rip Gym and seeing you train there, and then you came to M10 and learn. Right now there's a lot of people that are looking to go online. There's still a lot of people that have been in PTs for 15 years, never made the transition, right? What I'd love to get into here, and this is going to be a big part of this interview right now, is there's a lot of coaches that are PTs, they're very busy. Were you procrastinating on the idea of becoming an online coach for long? What was the delay for you initially?
I'd say two things probably. One thing is it's comfortable just being a PT, where the work comes to you, you
Yeah,
know, because the other side of it is as an online coach, the work doesn't come to you. It
yeah,
doesn't really come to you. You've got to go and find it. So it was the tech skills. And I think that's must be so common. You got people like I say, like myself, late 40s, you know, really high level of coaching skills, but our tech skills are not the same as people in their 20s.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And was that a bit of a fear for you at the time? Like, I can see that the online is more techy, and even though I want to go online, that's the thing that's holding you back.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like, I was proud of the results I was getting. They were big results. But, I mean, I was running my whole business from my iPhone because I thought to myself, I don't need a laptop. It was partly that I was probably scared of getting a laptop, because of the tech skills. Like I say, I needed to raise my game, and it just seemed easier to keep PTing, keep earning reasonable money PTing, but that the online coaching. I mean, like I say, I can't be PTing forever. Online is, it gives you so much scope, to like I say, I'm almost like a big fish in a small pond in the area where I live. I'm well known, but around the world, nobody knows who I am, you
Yeah.
know, and I just needed to change that.
Well, look, the reason I asked you this is because like I want to help other coaches because I even had somebody message me the other day said I just cannot break away from PT, but I want to.
Yeah,
What's the driver for you to separate from PT? Like you and I owe our careers to PT, right? So we're
yeah.
so complimentary of personal training. But what would your advice be to somebody right now who is a PT but sees the potential in online, but is just a bit too frightened because they think PT is a safety net? They all say PT is my safety net. Is it really a safety net, or can it be a bit of a noose for some people?
Yeah, absolutely. It's holding you back, because the thing is, like we say, the money is reasonable as a PT, obviously. But the thing is, when you're spending 12 hours a day at the gym, you get home and, for me, I was starting up the online business as well from 4 years ago. But, you get home after being at the gym for 12 hours, you don't really want to put yourself 100% into your online side of the business. So
Mm.
it's just this little bit that's an add-on. It's almost like a bit of a part-time job. And the thing is, you want to expand your online side, but part of you is just thinking, oh, well, I can just keep on earning this good money here on the PT side. But when you get the online where it should go, it earns more than the PT.
Yeah, yeah,
And this isn't just about money, but like I say, the results I got on the PT always been really good. The
yeah,
results I got on the online, good, but not enough of them because my business was too small. But on the online, you can coach so many more people.
yeah.
The more results we get, the more your reputation grows.
Has it given you a bit of more of a lease for life in terms of your potential to? It's almost like it's giving you an untapped potential thought process.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's even like, there's a pride in stepping your game up. Like for instance, like I say, I ran my business from my phone. I didn't have a coaching app, which Coaching Concierge has been instrumental in helping me getting up and running.
Really?
All my clients that I had before when I was running things really simply were so impressed with the coaching app that I got up and running. It's really increased the level of my coaching service. I've always been a good coach, but the service has gone up so much now. When you've got, the workouts, they're not just sent like, on an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document or whatever. Now everything, they've got the exercises all in videos. We're saying every check-in is not just written, it's video check-ins. You're able to explain so much more, give them so much more. And even the obvious things, I mean, now I can go, I just had a week in Devon. I can still work from a laptop,
I remember you came on the calls. Yeah, 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 yeah.
totally, and it's that scope. And I think as well, once you're getting a little bit older, maybe you do want to move away. There's so much of the world, whether it's down to a coast, whether it's to a different country. But while you're a PT, you're stuck in that gym. And
Yeah,
I don't mean that in a terrible way because we enjoy the gym,
yeah, of course we do. Yeah.
but you either stay comfortable as that big fish in the little pond that's not able to reach out, or you do something about it.
Oh, I love that. And when you, I mean, you came into Coaching Concierge last year, so it's been about a year with us.
Just
Um,
just under, yeah.
Done it. Yeah, yeah. Your business, remind me what revenue the online was doing at the time, roughly.
Yeah, so my online business at the time, like I could never get above 15 clients and I was earning just over 2 grand a month.
And was the most of, I mean, look, you're still a very well-known coach, and referrals is a big part of kind of what you do. What were some of the big shifts that you had your eyes open to coming into Coaching Concierge about what needed to help your business grow?
It's even things, for instance, I look back at the posts that I used to put out on Instagram now, and they were terrible. I mean, you would get likes from people that know you, and comments from people that know you, but you weren't I wasn't targeting the people that I wanted to come into the business. I look at the content that I'm putting out now and the way that we're strategizing and planning. It is so much more structured. Whereas before it was guesswork, to be honest. And it's that I mean, I was winging it, you
And do you know
know.
what? Like, it's really interesting you say this because we could talk to coaches about having an offer, basically creating your content that makes it crystal clear to who you want to help.
Yeah.
And through your targeted content, you actually told me before we came and recording this that you're actually attracting the type of people you want to work with. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's so important as well. I mean, my PT business did go down the route of coaching successful entrepreneurs and businessmen, to which, I really enjoyed coaching. I've learned so much from them. But you've got to learn as well how to actually seek out those people online, because one of the big things you find on your online is you do get so many inquiries, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but people inquire just cannot afford your service. It's no good, for instance, if somebody that's 19 who's what working in a lower paid job, and you just got to be targeting the right kind of people.
I think that is a
And that comes not, I mean, unless your content is actually aimed at the right kind of people, then you're not going to find them.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people make the mistake of. They create the content in a very broad online coaching fashion, but you go on your page now, you would not reach out to you unless you were bloody serious about actually doing the thing. And I think that's what a lot of people don't think about. It's like, can I get my content out rather than can I get the right content out?
Yeah. That's it. And I think like a year ago, before I came into the program, I was, doing what everybody else does, putting up pictures of myself. Um, but, as we know, being a good level coach, it is, although you do need to walk the walk, it is about way more than your physique, and you need to be targeting the people and showing them not just some results that you've got, but that you are the right person for them.
Yeah. That's massive. And I know anybody here, whether it's transitioning from PT or just very inspired about your journey, um, marketing in itself is is more than posting content. It's actually becoming connected with the people you want to speak to. And I think you've done that incredibly. You said that you were struggling to get above 15 clients around, was it like 2 grand a month, roughly?
Yes. Yeah.
Where are the client numbers now? And actually, let me ask you a question because this will tie into revenue. You've said something about undervaluing yourself when you came into the program. I'd love you to explain what happened there.
But interestingly, so what it was, I used to look at sort of like what I earn in the gym, and I would, in my naive state, I sort of thought, right, well, the check-in takes me that long, so therefore I should charge that much per check-in. I was charging peanuts,
Yeah,
and I'll tell you, like, it was only about 6 weeks after joining the program, I came to one of your main event, London Live,
yeah.
and just instantly it opened my eyes, and I instantly put my price up. I put them up by 70%. Nobody objected. Instantly, without even needing another client, revenue went up by 70%.
Wow, that's insane. And you know what you also said in this that um, what came with increasing revenue, what came with increasing prices came more awareness to money and tracking because I
Yeah.
don't think you were very good on the tracking side. Is that right?
Yeah, worse than that. Yeah, I wasn't tracking anything. So I had an online business that was, I mean, it wasn't run like a business. I was just putting out the odd random post, not knowing what I was doing, not tracking anything, not knowing why anything was working, not tracking what month was earning what money. It was just guesswork.
All right, unbelievable. And look, you said client numbers were what? Just explain the client numbers were what and what was the current revenue?
Yeah, so I mean,
Beginning.
I say under 15 clients, so it would be like 10 to 12 clients, money, yeah, around 2 grand,
And then
and
where are we sitting now?
30 clients, 8 grand a month consistently.
Wow. I do you know what? Like, because I know you and I know what you've put into this, and I know you're attracting the right people, we could have just thrown any old strategy at you to get any old clients. But the fact is, I believe from everything we've discussed today that these people that you're working with online, they're all people you love working with.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's like, I mean, it's not even work for me. I mean, it is work, and I'm glad that I am treating it like a business now, but I
Yeah.
love it, and even like, the voice notes that I send out and people send me. There's a real rapport there. And you do realize as well, like, it's not just about getting a good result out. You're providing a service
I was
to
just about to ask
people.
you about that. Yeah.
Oh, you're for us, when your niche is entrepreneurs and business owners, they are out there, they're getting the best service in the restaurants, in the hotels, on the first class, aeroplanes that they're going on. You've got to give the first class service to them yourself as well. It's not just about getting that result at the end, of course. And that has raised so much.
Well, this has been ingrained in you over the years, and you're an OG when it comes to PT, and you're somebody that's been in the trenches. I do find, and I'd love to know your take on this. I do find that the modern era of online coach wants the clients without the work, wants the results, wants the reputation, and wants the money. And something we bang on about all the time inside Coaching Concierge is you're delivering a service. So your advice as an experienced coach to any other coach that's underestimating service, what would your
Yeah.
advice be? Because your retention rate's incredible, right?
Yeah.
But what does an entrepreneur expect that maybe a younger coach would underappreciate?
Yeah, I mean, I'll even say I used to, like, if somebody would like message me a little bit too often or need a little bit too much help, I think, "Oh, can't they wait until the check-in?" Like sometimes I would think that, but you've got to be there for them. That they're paying you good money.
Yeah.
You want to establish a really good rapport for them. If you've done their check-in and they're not checking in for another week or whatever, you don't want them being unsure of what they're doing. You want to be there for them. You want to provide a much higher level of service. And as we know, it goes so much deeper than just the food, the training. I mean, for instance, two of my people are on stag do's this weekend, and it's about even like changing their mindset about the stag do's, talking with them. Don't just, send them a little message like, oh, like try and do this weekend. I spoke to them both personally last night, for it was about 20-30 minutes each, going through, not just going through some little bits of advice, but also, just, but being there for them, saying to them, right, when you get back, we're straight back on it. We'll talk, see how things have gone, and just that much higher level of service. Because otherwise people will go somewhere else.
And with the thousands of online coaches nowadays, people have the opportunity to jump ship very, very quickly if they see that the service is mediocre.
Yeah.
Um, Lee, honestly, you've done incredibly well with us, and I know, like you said, there's so much more to achieve. To a coach that's out there at the moment, and I just would love to reinforce this, to especially to people that are hesitating on the idea that personal training or whatever they're doing that's holding them back right now and the potential that lies ahead. What would be your final closing to them in terms of not necessarily working with us? Because I'd like to think that when people follow me, it's a logical thing that says, "Oh, I've enjoyed this conversation. I'll speak to Coaching Concierge." But to somebody that's kind of just delaying the idea of getting started online, what would your final closing piece of advice be? Because you're somebody that delayed it for a long time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, very simply, as a PT, people are coming to you for your expertise. As a PT who wants to become an online coach, you do need to reach out, because there's so much to grow in that business, because it's not, you're already probably a reasonable coach, but you don't know what's needed in terms of your sales, marketing, tracking, and treating it as an actual business. You either stay stuck where you are or you level up. Don't be scared of the tech, because the people at Coaching Concierge, they are there to help you with it. I mean, yeah, I mean, my business has gone through the roof tech wise over the last 11 months. And it's something that I did try to delay at first, but I've just embraced it now and I'm really enjoying the improved service that I'm giving.
Well, but honestly, Lee, firstly, it's great to reconnect with you again today, but it's a
Always.
pleasure helping you and seeing the business grow. So I'm really grateful that you've given your time to me today.
Thank you, Mark. Always great to speak to you. Top man.
Thanks.